Hello everybody, Dylan here, and today we're going to be bringing back a segment we haven't done in a while, Creepypastas. Today we're going to be reading Sonic Faded Colors, so let's start into this. I had always been meaning to get into the Sonic franchise, but never had found any real good games other than Sonic Generations. It's not like you could go back to the Genesis games, or the Dreamcast games, or Google it, hell, even use YouTube, but apparently our author is lazy. One day, I was asking my friends at school again if they had an extra copy of Sonic Colors that I could borrow or use theirs for a while, because I'm cheap and I don't want to go on eBay. But then again, you know how eBay is. I almost gave up, because yet again, like I said, lazy! Until a strange boy came up to me. I knew this boy. I was in a few of his classes. Hello, he greeted me with an odd smile. Hey, I replied, do you need something? Oh no, he said, I just heard you were looking for Sonic Colors, and I have a copy I don't need. With that, I got really excited, but I wanted to be cautious. Do you have the disc with you, I asked, because this is obviously a drug deal. He pulled out a plastic baggie. Oh look, it is a drug deal. But this was no ordinary baggie. It was a baggie with a disc in it, with all of its glory inside. I grabbed it out in excitement and joy. Finally, I could play Sonic Colors. Don't get too excited, because you'll be really disappointed pretty quickly. I asked him if he wanted any money for it. I had $5 that my mommy had given me for an allowance when I was talking to him. Oh, I don't need the money. Consider it a gift from a friend, he replied as he winked and smiled again. Man, that's a creeper stare. You might want to back away from this guy. Just look at that. Pedo child. But then again, I'm sure you can trust this happy fellow. After school, I went home and did my homework and chores and worked on projects. I'm a good boy. My parents weren't home, so I decided to pop in the game and play it. I don't know what else I would do besides play it. Maybe I would just look at it, but that's besides the point. A feeling of joy came over me as the beginning cutscene played Reach for the Stars blasted out of the speakers. I love that song. I had it on my 3DS, even though I'd never heard of this game before, and I'm just now playing it for the first time. The first level was a pure joy rush. Learning all the basics was a breeze, and high-speed Sonic action was all I desired. But then I noticed something odd. Of course you did. It wouldn't be a creepypasta if you didn't. There were no wisps to save. The containers were mostly missing, but the ones you had to break through were all empty. Which is odd because I said I never played this game before, so how do I know what wisps are? But let's just keep going. I thought it was just a bug, so I completed the level and made it to the first boss area. There was no boss fight. Of course there wasn't. This is a creepypasta. Sonic looked around confused at the screen. For some reason, his color turned pale, and he said, "Was I too slow?" Hearing the most famous Sonic taunt used against him was shocking, to say at the least. How do I know this is Sonic's most famous taunt, even though I never heard of the franchise till here recently? I don't know. The game pretty much went on like that, completing enemy-less levels, Sonic getting paler at the end with those haunting words. Of course there was no enemies, cause then this creepypasta would be interesting, and we wouldn't want that, would we, writer? By the time I reached the stage with the final boss, Sonic was basically a pale gray hedgehog, not the blue blur that he had once been. Once again, no boss appeared, just an endless strip of a platform. Well, I would expect a platform because this is a platformer game. Way to mix up the story, writer. I tried to run, but Sonic would only walk. I found this very odd. Sonic not wanting to run? What is this craziness? Man, this person obviously hasn't played Sonic Boom. You couldn't get that guy to run even if you paid him. So I walked along the endless strip, but I noticed that Sonic was getting paler, and he wouldn't collect rings. Not that you would need them because this game is boring and there's no enemies to attack because it's boring. I thought about the phrase he said. Maybe I really was too slow. So I replayed the first level a couple times trying to beat my top time because I thought it would make a difference. Odd enough, the game would stick with the exact time I set for every level no matter how many times I tried. I thought that the time meant something, so I put the numbers into different letters, like what you would see on a phone. It's not like there's been several different ways number pads worked on a phone, especially the one to where you could have more than one letter representing each number. I might as well scream Illuminati confirmed while I'm at this strange researching, but let's see what it said. It came out for every time you're too slow. Knowing that I could do nothing else, or because I'm lazy, I went back to the final stage and began walking, and Sonic started getting not only paler, but slower. Near the end, he was on his hands and knees, and just a pure white-gray blob. He looked up at the screen at me. Of course he did, 'cause you're special. Look at Mrs. Special Writer Person who gets all the attention. Well, let's continue, Mrs. Writer Person. He looked at the screen, at me, with a very sad look, and he spoke very haunting words. For the sake of my own privacy, I'm gonna use my cover name, because I wouldn't want my name getting out there on the public. Especially because then you guys would break into my house and beat the crap out of me for making you read this crappy story. Oh, Fawn, it isn't me after all. It was you. You were way too slow. You didn't get here in time, and now all the Wisp are dead. All of them. Eggman has won because you were too slow. Wow, what a dick. He plopped onto the ground face first as soon as he said it. I assumed he was dead, because he couldn't be sleeping. He has to be dead. Eggman came out of nowhere right then and thanked me for being too slow for Sonic to handle, because he's a dick. He also said that he was draining Sonic's emotions during all of this to the point of depression. But he called it fading his colors because he's cheap and corny, and I just wanted to get the title of this creepypasta somewhere in the story. Score 1 for the writer. I remembered that colors have two meanings, red, orange, etc., and emotions. Sonic faded colors, ... Wow, this writer is really fast at catching on to things. The screen went dead for a while, of course it did, then came back onto the Planet Wisp. I've never played this game before, so I should know what Planet Wisp is, but let's ignore that and keep moving on. A gray, slightly transparent Sonic was standing in front of the Mother Wisp place, whispering, "Fawn, why were you too slow?" Every important place he went, he said that. The place was just lifeless, everything except for the plants. Thank God the flowers are okay. After his dead tour, he walked into the screen, and it went black. Wow, writer, you really know how to mix this story up, don't you? After a while, he appeared standing over void. Not over a void, just over void. He had a grayish-blue coloring with a red tint, even though earlier I said he was completely gray, but let's forget about that. What he said next, I almost dare myself not to repeat. "This is your fault, Fawn. You didn't get here in time. Now every Wisp is dead. You're too slow, and you always will be." I was used to hearing this because I heard this all during elementary school years. "No matter how fast you run, you will never escape me. I will find you. I will kill you, because like I said, he got real close to screen, almost close enough to kiss me. And I could have sworn I saw Sonic.exe for a split second. You're too slow." The game shut off and restarted itself right after that. Of course it did. I immediately got a knock at the door, so I peered out the window to see who it was. It was the boy who gave me the game disc. I opened the door and looked at him with a shocked expression on my face. You see, kids, this is why you don't take random games from strangers who have them in bags, because then they find out where you live, and they're gonna kill you. "Hey," he greeted. "I know some people in the neighborhood, so I thought I'd come over and see how you liked Sonic colors." I grabbed the disc and put it in the baggie and shoved it into his hand, saying, "I never wanted to see this damn disc again." He did a really creepy smile and asked, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" What, is Ben Drown getting involved with this now? How do all these creepypastas always get intertwined? What, do they have a tea party or something? Now I was really freaked out. I was expecting a Ben Drown quote. He laughed and said it was a joke, so I laughed too, because I'm gullible and stupid. Then he got real serious and said, "But in all honesty, you were way too slow, weren't you?" He just left right after that. 3 days later, he vanished and no one even remembered him. I don't see how they could forget him. He's that creepy dude who gives out games in baggies, and he has that smile. If he was at my school, I would so be friends with that guy. It got me thinking. Maybe he played the game. Maybe he was running from the faded Sonic. I guess I'll never know unless he really is going after him, and he's trying to pass the blame over to me. So I warn you, if a kid comes to your school and offers you a Sonic Colors game in a baggie, reject it. No matter what. I would do that anyway, because it's a worn-out Sonic Colors game in a baggie. That's just common sense, writer, something you apparently don't have. And even if he sticks it into your backpack, don't play the game no matter how bad you want to. I doubt if they will. Give it back to him. It may be gathering a list of people who played the game, and it may be going after him. And it may target whoever has the disc next. And that was Sonic Faded Colors. It wasn't just lazy, it had a lot of the creepypasta tropes we were used to. I found this one on Screw Attack, and it was written by Watermaster Fawn, so thank you for that. If you enjoyed this, like, share, and subscribe, and suggest some more for me down there to read later. Till then, this has been Dylan from DHT. Bye.